Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation here, Tuesday, June the 6th, the Feast of St. Norbert. So from the first reading, we're going through the book of Tobit, as I mentioned yesterday. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll give you a sense of it. I always encourage people to do the readings. So I did not know that there were sparrows on the wall. Their fresh droppings fell into my eyes and produced white films. So this is after he buried the dead, and he washed himself, because you had to do that when you touched a corpse. You had to go through ritual purification. So then he falls asleep against the wall, and then these bird droppings fall into his eyes, and they blind him. Okay, so it goes from bad to worse. And then his wife comes home, she has a goat, he thinks she's taken it, and he doesn't believe her when she says, no, it was given to me. So she said, it was given to me as a gift in addition to my wages, but I did not believe her. I became flushed with anger against her over this. Then she replied to me, where are your acts of charity? Where are your righteous deeds? These things are known about you. So and then with much grief and anger, he grieves in his heart. So what's going on here with Tobit? We can, so often I think we can relate to him because we're trying to do the right thing. And perhaps even at a great cost. And then things don't get better, they get worse. We think that because we're doing good or we're making great efforts to do good, things should get better. And many times they do. But there are times when they don't. That's life, right? We all know this. I'm sure you can relate to this. I can relate to this. So here's Tobit. He's doing a deed which is actually done at the cost of his life. Like there's, not the cost, but at the... there's a potential price that he could lose his life if he's caught burying this corpse in the city of Nineveh. But he does it anyways. And then he gets blinded by this bird. And then he chews out his wife. He doesn't trust her, which is worse than chewing her out. So, and then she says, basically, where's your charity now? So it's kind of like three things. So he's having a bad day. After he's done a really good thing. How often can we relate to someone like Tobit? But you got to follow the book of Tobit. It's so important. And how things will turn out really well for him. You and I, we can't always be guaranteed of this. We see the end of Tobit. We don't see the end of our life. But what's really important is that we remain faithful to God. And we can right almost anything in this world, correct it. The only thing that can't be righted is death. We're going to die no matter what we do. It's just a matter of how we die and where we go. So that's a really important thing for all of us to keep in mind. Okay, so over to the Gospel, Mark chapter 12. Some Pharisees and some Herodians were sent to Jesus and to trap him. Okay, this is the famous incident of the coin. So teacher, they try to butter him up. They try to, stroke his ego. Not with Jesus. Okay, so is it lawful to pay taxes to the emperor or not? So this is a conundrum, because if he says, yes, it's okay to pay taxes to the emperor, basically they can accuse him of siding with the pagan government, and he's a turncoat. If he says no, then he's an insurrectionist, so there's no escaping, right? Not so with Jesus. He provides an answer that sort of just knocks them over. He says, why are you putting me to the test? First of all, I know your thoughts. That should have taken them aback. He says, then he said to them, whose head is this? Whose title? They answered, the emperor's. Then Jesus said to them, give to the emperor, give to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, but give to God the things that are God's. And this takes them aback. Why? Because they don't think in a supernatural way. They think in a political, twisted, conspiratorial, political, earthly bound kind of way. And Jesus says, look, there's no separation. There's no ultimate inability for the church and the state to cooperate. So I'm not going to say either or, but both and. You give God first, but then you give the state, their due as well. This is an important principle. Books have been written, this one answer. So it's a very simple but very dynamic, loaded with meaning, life, pregnant answer that has implications just across the political, economic, social spectrum. Give to God what belongs to God, and give to the emperor what belongs to the emperor. Which is first? God. But even then, there's a certain order So there's a certain order. So I won't go any deeper than that. The answer is so profound, it can only come from the mind of God. So all of us need to really reflect upon this. Are you giving God his due? And then are you giving the state what is owed to the state? God bless you.